Here we go. We're live. What's going on, everybody? I'm Tarot Oracle. This is Megan. We're getting set up. Megan, can you hear me? Maybe not. Can anybody else in chat?
All right. I got y'all now.
Okay, cool. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. For some reason, it didn't work. I used the auxiliary cord, so that helped. So I apologize.
The backup cord. There we go.
Yeah, the backups.
Oh, cool. So
How
what's
are you
going on?
doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
So we got I got a new deck today.
Oh, did you?
I got the Super Lannis Tarot. Super
nice.
Lunaris, not just the regular Lunaris, but apparently the Super Lunaris. So
Nice.
it's cute. It looks like this basically.
I like the box too. Yeah. The way it opens.
Yeah, they got the fancy box. I think you got to print like 500 of these things to get a box that's fancy.
Yeah, like I have this one that's like that. Yeah. I really like this one like that. But that is a very nice deck.
Yeah, it is really pretty.
Very pretty.
Cool images on it.
Yeah.
Usually not one. Some of them are like really dark, but overall it's okay.
I like it. It kind of, even though it's not the same, it kind of reminds me of this one, the Golden Tarot a bit, like the picture.
Oh yeah, cat black. Yeah, look at the side though. Look at that. I've never seen that color before.
Oh yeah, it's almost like a rose gold.
It's nice. It's
very
really nice.
So is it small or is it like a normal size? It looks a little bit smaller.
Yeah, here's mine. It's same size as mine.
About same size. Okay.
Oops, that's same size as mine. I forget that the screen is smaller. In other news, it appears the Bohemian Gothic is selling for $2,000.
No way.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can hang on to mine.
Yeah.
there's a threshold, and that threshold is $2,000.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a lot. And welcome everybody. Hi, how are y'all?
Sunflower, we got Tammy, we got Chief. What's up, Chief?
Oh yes, and Tammy was one of the winners of the Waterfall Tarot as well, so she loves it as well. So awesome. She likes it a lot.
Snazzy Butterfly says, I was thinking about something. Picking up the Light Sears Tarot. Is the card stock the Hay House version like the Moonology? It's pretty thick.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's probably one of my thickest decks, the Light Sears, to be honest. I think it's probably, you said, about the same or a little bit thicker than that one that she was speaking of.
It's got vulnerable corners though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they rip easy.
If you whack the corner against anything, it will start shredding.
Yeah, I have to be careful because of the way I shuffle. It kind of, like you said, catches it and rips it a bit sometimes. So, but I mean, overall though, I mean, the card stock's pretty good. The value, so I mean, I use it quite often, but I connect to a few other decks a little bit more. Like the Tarot de la Nuit. Like I really, really like this deck a lot.
Oh yeah.
So I use that one a lot. And then obviously the Gilded Tarot, I mean, that's a classic. And then the original Rider-Waite and then the Waterfall, things like that. I use a lot for work, Oh,
there you go. Yeah, cool. Did you see the new tarot that's out? You guys see it. Hang on. This definitely got my attention. Where's my freaking screen thing? Oh, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Yes, that is it. Okay, here we go. Finally, it is the Fauna Bell. It's a deck illustrated for apparently children, but I'm a child at heart, so I like it.
That's actually a nice deck.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like the artwork on it.
I like that it's kind of like it's kind of simple, but still has good little details and the coloring to it. It kind of draws you in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is, it looks Photoshop, but then their promo video, they show themselves running a brush over something.
Right. Yeah, it's very nice looking though. I know. I tried to get on Kickstarter. I didn't accomplish that. So apparently I signed up wrong. So I need to get back on there.
Is that legitimate?
I don't know. It looks like little parts maybe. And then they probably enhanced it maybe in some things.
Like the corner here being white, that's Photoshop.
Yeah.
That is not, you can't get a little brush like.
Yeah. Like the trees, the stroke of the trees, that would be hard with a paintbrush, especially even if you're doing it with a certain technique.
Yeah, the individual leaves are shaded up top. They're brighter than the bottom where they're shaded. You're not gonna, there's no brush small enough to be doing it.
There's no brush pattern too much at the top.
No, but anyway, it looks good. It was only 40 bucks, so I picked it up. And it's interesting that they, for the minors, they have tortoise for pentacles, and it's super simplistic. Like this is the 10 of swords. The swords apparently is a parrot feathers or something.
Okay, for like the bird being in the air. That's cool.
Yeah, they have the dog fetching for, I don't know what is it. This is the 4, 5. I don't know what's going on here.
So I guess the tortoises are earth signs.
Yeah, and then the let's see, the dogs are wands.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's a 5 of wands or what's going on, but it's cute anyway. I backed it for 40 bucks.
Yeah, that's a nice deck.
Yeah. So what's new with your tarot collection there?
We got yesterday. We got the Divine Animal Oracle. So that's something I picked up. I really, really liked it a lot. I actually had just taken it out, so we kind of look at it really quick. But again, the artwork's very pretty. I was going to do, kind of an unboxing of it again, but it just kind of has, the different animal spirits, things like that. But again, the artwork is beautiful. This one's the lynx.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very nice. And then the red fox was interesting. I really liked it. And an owl. And then, then we'll go ahead and do an unboxing for it. But that's one of the new ones we're getting, or we just got in. And then I also got the Moon Oracle one, the Queen of the Moon Oracle. I'd seen it quite a bit. And that's the one I was saying earlier, which is also by the same maker. So it's kind of the same cards, the way they're designed and stuff. But I like this too. It's kind of simple, the void, dark moon. I like this a lot too, because the meditation sometimes, going through, like some people like to use gardens, different walls, things like that. So it kind of reminds me of like a meditation scene a bit. And then realization, kind of unlocking that key and going through that keyhole. So I like a lot of the designs and artwork they put into this deck that kind of went with it well.
Is the whole thing pathways? I noticed the pattern of sort of pathways or escapes or something like that.
So like this one's going on, like kind of like almost like a cycle ending and going on to the next one, acceptance. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're saying the pathway of like, moving on and what's going on and the cycles of that and how to like kind of deal with that best. And then I did get a Heal Yourself reading cards, which I haven't opened yet. So I'm not they're more of a kind of, they open the same, kind of like the other one was saying. I like how they open, and then you get the book, which is a pretty good sized book. I think these were all under 30 bucks each. I know that they weren't more than that. And on Amazon though, is where I got it. And it's actually beautiful on the inside.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And I think this one was, like I said, again, under about 25, I'm pretty sure. And this is just, again, different pictures. That I like that there's a bit of a darkened spin to it, selling out, so I'm really into those cards. Self-sabotage kind of in it, and that's, what you would kind of picture it in your mind of what it could be or look like.
Twilight theme going on there.
And then they still have good ones, like the dreams here where you see the fairies resting here with the tiger, and they're, they seem peaceful. So it's very nice. And even this one, does have a little bit of riskiness in it if you like that. So it's got a little bit of something for everybody in it. So I think it's a great deck.
How many cards you get for it?
This one was, I want to say it was 48 almost.
48 for 20 bucks with a book? That's a good deal.
Oh, 36 actually in a book. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was, the book and the box are really, really nice. And the card stock is good too, though. So, yeah, it is a good deal for about 25 bucks.
Yeah, it's glossy and it's borderless. It has everything.
And it's very easy to shuffle.
That's cool. Sunflower, your car broke down in the woods. Sounds like the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Was there like a chainsaw factory nearby, or?
I would say, well, what deck do I have around for that? We can get the dark mirrors for that deck.
You need something.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. But again, hi everybody. And hi Melanie. I saw her a bit earlier, and Tammy, I think I said, and
did you have your crystals with you? Well, crystals and a Glock, I mean.
Yeah, actually I thought about bringing some of my crystals over, but it was too many to probably carry. So I'm just wearing my normal amount. But yeah, and then my mom's also here. So hi, Mom. But yeah, so I also got. I noticed you had mentioned the Witchlings deck. I didn't know if that was something you had gotten yet or not.
No, it's on pre-order. I think that's a re-release, right? Or or no, similar? Is that something similar?
It's something similar. I think they updated it. Yeah, I guess it'd be a re-release if you kind of update it a bit. But again, it's been a really nice deck. It helps a lot in work, and again, it's more affirmations because you're starting to get a lot more of those kind of things, especially with Lucy Cavendish. Like I said, I have a lot of her stuff, like the Blessed Bee, amazing deck. This one's really cool. This is more of affirmations too. Like I said, we will go the Witchlings, but I actually just recently got this, and again, I love the boxing on a lot of decks. I like that you can open it like this, and it's got cards. So basically, it tells you what to picture as an affirmation before you get ready to pull that card for the day. So just say you need that. You're feeling like you need a little bit of extra affirmation that day. So you picture it, kind of like the meditation thing. You shuffle it, whatever card comes out. I would do an unboxing on it, but as you can see, they're very long. So that would take a long time to do that. But it is again, I think I paid $25 for this, and it helped a lot, actually, whenever you just need that extra kind of something on top of an oracle.
It's like a board game almost, with a sort of set out like vertical and enclosed box and all that.
And all of her stuff is very, very boxed very well. Again, her cards are a little bit smaller than the box, but again, they're beautiful cards. The blessing from your ancestors, a blessing for unity from once there was division, within the universe. So it's just the detail within the crystals, the animals. Here she's a blessing on your health. So you see that with the red, the foundation, the courage, the dragon, all those things kind of relate to health and things like that. So I do very much enjoy a lot of her work. So she's my favorite. And then with the Witchlings, it does give you this book, which is a good sized book also too. And it comes with not only more explanations of the cards that we have here that have courage, energy, cleansing, just little things like that. And they have things at the bottom, but it also gives you, again, daily affirmations and little kind of, tips that you can do around the house to make you feel better. Kind of mantras, things like that, little witches mantras and, tiny little spells that you can do just to make yourself feel better on a daily basis with that card. So again, I would highly recommend that for anybody who likes something like that on a daily basis, or it helps.
Yeah, the Witchling coming out is like very animated, very anime type thing. This is sort of a
yes.
I think there's so many witch decks. I'm kind of burned out on the witch theme, but it's like a couple of decent ones as long as it's mass market and it's cheap. I don't think I would pay at this point like $50-$60 or whatever for a witchy deck.
No. And that's why I like Lucy Cavendish, because hers aren't too witchy. They're not too expensive. And the witch is like, yeah, that one I got was off of Etsy. So and I did see where you said they were making a new one, and that one it doesn't look anything. Yeah, it's a little bit different looking than that one. So I did, like I said, I did get that one from Etsy, and it did say there was only, a few of those kind of left and stuff. But again, I've been kind of getting more, and I started out collecting a whole lot of tarot cards, and now I'm kind of getting into the oracles and affirmations as well. So.
Yeah, I think we have phases to where it's like tarot, and then now I want to do Lenormand, and then I want to do oracles and all that stuff.
Well, that's what I was saying. You talk about reprinting the echoes of nature. I mean, again, I was saying, I use it for work actually a lot, and then sometimes I can almost give out a reading on just that. You know what I mean? Because you got your numbers, you got your words, and you can actually pull from the picture what they're telling you and what the energy is, So, yeah, you do have those times where you can kind of switch it up and use different things. And I've noticed a lot of times, and I don't know if you feel that way when you're pulled, because I've noticed you'll kind of be pulled to a deck sometimes, it seems, before a reading. A lot of times in that deck, there's something that comes out that wouldn't have been in another deck that kind of matches up with that reading. So I don't know if that's something you experience sometimes, but that's kind of why I like to keep a variety of it.
Yeah, the Echoes of Nature, I added about 7 more cards, and maybe I probably add 10 more, so I get like 90 maybe total cards, and then maybe re-release it or whatever. But that only had like 80 people on the Kickstarter, so it's better than Yeah, it'd be kind of fun just to re-release it and throw some extra cards on there, do some people's pets or something, and then do all that.
I mean, I think it would be nice. I've had lots of people ask me where I got it, and like I told them, as far as I know, it's not reprint in print at the moment, but he's is thinking about reprinting soon. So I was like, but I gave him the name of the shop and things like that, so they'll look into it. But yeah, definitely people were interested in it, so it would definitely, I think, be a great idea to re-release that deck.
Yeah, cool. Maybe I'll put some more cards in and re-release it.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just sort of chilling out, playing board games and all that.
Oh, and the Tasty Tarot too. How is that coming along?
It's not. It's got like 30 backers. I'm going to hit cancel on it probably.
Oh, yeah? I tried to get
it.
on there the other day and look, like I said, but again, I didn't sign in right or something, so I have to go back in there again.
Yeah, I'd rather work on
savvy.
I work on the Thoth teaching deck. According to the survey that I put up, everybody's excited about that one. So I'm kind of interested.
I saw that, and I do notice. I mean, you are very good with the Thoth, so I mean that would be interesting to see a design, of your Thoth. I've tried to get more into the Thoths, but it's not hard. It's just a little different, especially when you're used to a certain pattern of reading on a certain amount of time. Like if you're on work or something like that, it's kind of easier just to use a deck, So I try to teach, look at some of the difference in the cards in like my downtime right now, since I've just added it not too long ago.
Yeah, it's not very approachable. It's just
no, it's not. But I think it reminds me a bit of when people kind of used playing cards a little bit sometimes before they started using actual tarot cards that were designed. Because I mean, I know a lot of people still do use playing cards, especially in certain situations when that's all they have access to. So I've actually thought about that, learning how to read it off of playing cards just for the fun of it.
Yeah, the good thing about the Thoth is that the mood is there. No matter what the card, the mood is there. So you get there's no mistaking that you put this on the table, you're thinking, ooh, that must be a happy card. I mean, like nobody does that,
Right. Yeah.
So it's not like the TDM or something where you throw down a card and it looks sort of the same as the other card, but has one more pentacle on it or something. This actually tells you before you even think about the meaning that's no bueno at that point. So
yeah, I didn't look too happy.
Yeah, so this is sort of, things that you can't see the forest because the trees, there's just all this. So one of my theme is going to be like eyeballs sort of poking out everywhere. And then, somebody's lost in the woods and whatnot, but I have the same color scheme. So in my deck, when you see this, it'll teach you what it means just by looking at the picture. And you don't have to look at a book or anything. You just go, oh, somebody's kind of covered up and they're having too many problems or whatever. And now you see this one, you're like, oh, that looks exactly like the training deck, except there's no little bear in there or whatever. So
right, yeah, that would be a cool idea to have some of the eyes and stuff peeking through. So that would be interesting.
Yeah, the Thoth is like an earth sign, non-approachable. Yeah, it could be. You're grouping all the earth signs. You're not just sticking with Virgo anymore. You've expanded.
Yeah, I know. I mean, as a Virgo, I'm very introverted, but that's just me.
There you go. Donning Gypsy studying Thoth now. See, that's the problem. You have to study the freaking deck.
Yeah.
I don't want a deck that you have to study because now you said that you get into Crowley's version of everything and you're like, Jesus Christ, I have no idea what he's talking about at the end of the sentence. You know what I mean? And now it's unapproachable. Now you close the book and you do something else. I don't want that anymore. I just want somebody to open a deck, be able to easily see what it means, and then later they go back to the Thoth and they're like, I remember a few of these,
That's kind of what I've been doing with the Thoth. I mean, obviously there's some cards that are relatable to just because they're in the tarot, but the ones I'm not too familiar with is the ones I study the most on, if I can. And then I kind of don't really look at the other stuff too much because I kind of already get where that part's going. But some of the, more stuff, like I said, how I think it was no king was in it or something like that. It was something else. So it's something like that I'd have to look more into those particular ones.
Yeah. So, you got the prince, the princess, and all the garbage in the night. Yeah. So it's kind of a weird system. You got to sort of rework and rethink stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting to have no king. Like I said, I even did the unboxing, like I said, because I did it in like real time. Like I hadn't opened it yet, and I was going through it, and I was like, "There's no king." I was so confused. I was like, and you can tell I was on a live. I was like, sorry, y'all. I was like, I'm just used to seeing a king, and I don't see any kings, so I don't know if I'm like skipping them or lost them or what, you know. And I think actually you happened to show up at that time. I was like, there is none, and I was like, okay, well that makes sense because I don't see one.
Yeah, good old Thoth. Nobody can stand it, but everybody's supposed to love it. You're supposed to be able. It's like a graduate degree or something, you know, graduate degree in tarot. Okay, well I know tarot. Now let me get into Thoth. Oh God, what did I get myself into? You know?
Yeah, I've been trying to do Lenormand for a while too. I have a small hand one of that, like you can carry around, but I haven't really. Again, you know, I kind of know what some of the cards mean together, but I don't know if it's really the same complete system as this, but to me, it kind of almost. You can kind of use it a little bit the same once you get to know it, you know, individually the cards. So it kind of reminds me of that the closest, that particular Lenormand. I forget which one it is though that I have, but it's a little pocket one that I had recently got about probably a year ago. So
does anybody do Kipper full time?
No, not that I know of. I mean, sure there is somebody that does, but I don't know anybody who uses a lot of Kipper. Like I said, I only have that one Kipper, and I think Paula said she does Kipper a lot, but that's the only one that I'm aware of.
Oh wow. Lenormand videos are awesome. Oh, thank you, Snazzy Butterfly. I'll pay you later. No, I'm kidding. You know. Just got the Santa Muerta. There you go.
Yeah. I like that one. I had the Day of the Dead one too, and I ended up actually selling that deck. But I kind of got it early on, and I think it was a little bit much for me because it was very early on. And like I said, the first deck I still have. Like, this is like my first deck. It's basically like the original Universal one, and I wrap it in silk, you know, because it is my first deck. But I mean, it's pretty much, you know, worn in. So.
Which deck is this?
It was the Universal Rider-Waite Tarot.
Oh, yeah. It's a bright, pretty one, yeah.
Yeah, and so I keep it wrapped in silk because this was the only deck I used for like the first year that I did tarot, and then the second one I added was the Gilded Tarot, and then I only did those two for about 2 years, and then after that I started adding more because then I could start to pick up on different energies with different decks. I didn't have to have such a specific picture. I could kind of pick it up from other things on there too and other energies a little bit.
Well, speaking of selling, let's see where you're in. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. So somebody's selling the Bohemian Gothic for 2,000. Look at the boxes beat up and everything. And there's 10 people watching it. 10 people are like, "Oh, I want to check that out." Are you serious?
I didn't realize it was that popular. I mean, I know a lot of people had it, but I didn't realize it was worth that much.
So here's the newer version, or that's sort of the original version, which is what I have. So this is the third. That's the first edition is still going for $1,000. The second edition is going for $650. That's insane. Like, who's paying these prices?
I don't know. And who is that that creates that one particularly?
Baba Studio. The reason it's more valuable is because they stopped creating tarot decks.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I've never seen any that high, so I wouldn't know what would make it. But yeah, but that makes sense if they're not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah, it's out.
That is still outrageous though, priced.
That's ridiculous. When it first came out, I bought like 9 of them, and I just let them sit on the shelf for like 6 years. And then I made a lot of money when I sold all of them. They're all sealed and new and everything.
I bet. I mean, it is a nice deck though. You say that. It's
got some good readings, especially when people are being stalked or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll take that out.
Well, that's why I like the steampunk and the Alice in Wonderland, especially the Alice in Wonderland. Like, I don't want to say so much for relationships, but when people are kind of confused, because it is a confusing, like, you know, like Alice in Wonderland, it kind of reminds me of that.
You mean this one or the Baba Studio?
Yeah, that one. Whenever, like I'm saying, like doing like a kind of confusing love reading when we don't really know what's going on. You know, it's like that one seems to really connect for some reason too. So I like to use that. I like actually a lot of Barbara Moore's decks.
Oh yeah, Barbara Moore and Eugene Smith, which did that. Yeah. He also did he's done a ton of them, but man, he does a hell of a job.
Yeah, he's the one that just did the Edgar Allan Poe one, I'm pretty sure. And that one's nice. I like that one a lot. again, that's one of those decks, just like the Alice in Wonderland. Like I will be pulled to it. I'll do a reading and I'll see something in that card. And for some reason I'll be like, well, this is on the card. It's not normally on the card. Does it have anything to do with it? And they'll be like, yeah, it actually does. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's, why I felt pulled to that deck is usually how I kind of go with how I choose my decks.
Sunflower loves a good stalker, unless it's midnight in the woods when your car breaks down.
Yeah, right. Unless your stalker would want to keep you safe for them. I have no clue.
No doubt. Also, I want to make an Outrun stunt. I have no idea what Outrun is. Is that a movie? I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say he was wanting to create a tarot too. I thought that would be neat.
Yeah, go for it. I have an interview with the creator of the Bosch Tarot. I did that yesterday, so I had to edit really bad because the audio was terrible, so I had to hack that pretty bad. But it's ready and it'll be published tomorrow morning.
Okay. So, cool. I had saw it and I was like, I didn't know if I had missed it. I was like, where did it go? So I thought I had missed it on accident. So I was like, I don't know.
No, I was going to be live, but then I turned it into a recording because of my audio issues. My voice is like 20 times louder than their voice. I don't know how to fix it. I sit there and diddle with it forever.
Yeah. I have a Ted series or a Ted Bundy series kind of that we're going to do as a talk that I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for, just so that, like you said, there's no interruptions, as far as internet, things like that. And if there is, then we can kind of go ahead and, set it, cut it up how we need to, so it doesn't, show too much if there is any issues.
Yes, Snazzy, that IP is definitely not going to be cheap. That's why people don't create the good decks, is because you got to pay for the intellectual property. But a Harry Potter, that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be interesting, actually. Surprised somebody hasn't done that yet.
What would the IP be? That would be at least $1 million just to get the IP.
Yeah.
There's the Lord of the Rings deck. Yeah, there's Lord of the Rings and there's Hobbits and all that.
There's, what was it? Game of Thrones. I think there's a Game of Thrones deck. I don't have it, but I know a bunch of people had got that for a while.
It's really ugly though. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it when I saw it, but I was like, I wanted to want it because it seemed like I should have wanted it, but I'm like, I don't really like it. So
yeah, Lord of the Rings decks. So I don't know how much they pay to get the license for all of that, but the Harry Potter license would not be cheap. Is the Lord of the Rings? I know that was written back in the 40s, right? Is that still in copyright? Or I assume somebody renewed the copyright, thus why they made the movies.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
I don't know. Their estate as the copyright. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, I'd love to make a billion cool tarots. I want to make a Pokemon tarot. It'd be kind of fun. And
yeah. So I know you said you're talking about adding some cards if you do the Echoes of Nature and go ahead and release that. And then with the Tasty Tarot, I know you said, how that goes. Do you have any other ideas of anything else that maybe that you were looking forward to doing or
I wanted to make a music tarot to where you have different musical groups. So the Beatles would be the three, Pentacle, I don't know, it'd be something like that. And I would make it very, very obscure. So it looked sort of kind of like a Beatle. So you couldn't sue me. So
yeah, that's actually really cool. My dad was a drummer. So actually we pretty much grew up listening to music from the 20s to whenever, so he was like I said, so we, I'm really into music. So that would be actually really cool. I've never seen a music themed tarot. So that's neat.
Yeah, maybe I should start wandering into these random tarots. I thought the Tasty Tarot being a food tarot would be kind of fun, but that kind of died off. I guess, I don't know. I guess it sort of reminds me of the interview. If you listen to the interview tomorrow, it's sort of interesting that the guy said, it's Travis McHenry. He said, make the tarot of your passion, of your dreams. Make the one that you've always wanted to make and make the whole damn thing and put it out there for the world. Which kind of goes against what I was thinking, because if you make an entire 78 deck tarot, you put it out there and nobody likes it, you're pretty much done at that point. I mean, you really have no incentive to do anything else. So my question to him originally was how many cards, because he makes a living doing Kickstarter tarot. So I was like, how many cards do you make before you put it out there and then hope for the best. You know, he's like, you don't do that. You do your passion, and then people follow your passion. So
yeah, I would say, I mean, I think it's a great deck. I mean, I know, like I said, you know, with the backup and stuff like that, and things like that. Like I said, I am still gonna try to get on there because I'd like to back. I was like I said, I kind of feel like how I think I had heard you mention on one of the episodes of, or one of the lives, about the echoes of nature, for example. Like it was like, maybe it was a little bit before its time. I said, because I use it a lot for my readings, and my clients really like it, and they like the numbers, they like the pictures, they like the messages that come from them. So that's why I thought it'd be a great idea.
Or not, where did I put it? Here we go. No, here we go.
I usually have it right next to me, but of
I think
course,
a Christmas themed tarot would be fun too. Somebody else mentioned that. Just have like a full on dedicated, but I don't know how much of the Christmas theme versus the winter wait. Is the winter wait? Is that a Christmas themed tarot?
I don't know, but I think that would be a good idea too. I do agree, because when you watch a lot of readings, especially like how you have a daily live, is, you know, when it's like that's kind of why I got the Halloween Oracle. When it was Halloween, I used that a lot, and I mean, I still do use it. But, you know, I mean, a lot of people were pulled. So even like I said, at that time, it might not, you know, go off the shelves like you expect. But I think, you know, it's always going to come. Like I agree with what he was saying. You know, if you stick with your passion, everything's going to follow with it in time.
So that one's there. So here's my new card. So this is Daylight Aspects.
Yeah.
I think so. That is Celebration. That's card 78.
I like the card. It looks nice.
And that is Hidden Path. I think that's card 81. And there is Path to Clarity. That's 76. And then Clear Pathways, which got trashed. Covered Paths. There's a lot of paths. I need to read it.
Yeah. Well, I actually like that a lot. Like, as I said, there's a lot of times, you know, I pull out cards, and as I said, it'll say, you know, leading on to a new path, or you know, it'll see a gate. There was one of yours, I think it had a gate, a wooden fence, and it said boundaries. And it very much fit the situation, where on one side it was kind of more plain, on the other side it was more, you know, kind of like that stepping from one side to another feeling, you know what I mean, of transitioning through that pathway. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a fantastic deck. I enjoy reading with it a lot. So
yeah, window of opportunity, and I'm not even sure. I don't think I included this one. Did I include this one or not?
No, I don't think that one's in there.
It's one of my favorite paintings of all time. But
yeah, that is nice. The water on the side too.
So that's some of the extra cards that I had in mind. But
yeah, I mean, I think that would be a great idea. Again, like, I mean, I would repurchase it for the extra cards. Like I said, just because, again, I use it all the time for work. I even have a certain client that asks to use that particular one.
Oh, wow. No, I'd have it where you could just buy the extra cards for a couple of bucks, and I just ship it to you in a little package. I think it'd be like $5 for the extra cards and $1 shipping or something.
Yeah. Either way, that's always nice to have a couple. I got a couple waterfall tarots, backups, just in case, just in case I need them. I got one that I carry and one that I keep at home.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I work from my work phone too. So I'm like, if I got to take a deck with me, I'm going to take that one. So.
Well, cool. So what's on your to buy list?
You know, I'm trying not to buy too many decks right now. So I really have not looked, but it seems like I said, again, I've been very pulled to Lucy Cavendish. So I've been kind of looking at more of her stuff. So I have been getting that. But really just oracles lately have been, but I would actually like to, I know, even though I have the Gilded Tarot Royale one, it's kind of, I've have it already and stuff like that, but it is kind of ripping the one that I had. So I kind of actually want to repurchase it just because I do like it. It's not brand new, but it is a deck that I really do like. You know, I do connect to it a lot. I liked it a lot when it came out. So if I do have to make a purchase, I kind of feel like repurchasing that, you know, just because now it is at the point where, kind of how we were saying with the light Sears, if I shuffle a certain way, it kind of might tear a bit, you know.
Well, you bring up an interesting point. Like I said with the Baba Studio just completely going out of business, Chiro announced that he's not going to be doing squat else.
I saw that.
So if you have his boxes, his cloths, his decks, while they're still in stock, it may be prudent to grab an extra one and just leave it in the corner sealed.
Yeah. I mean, I know for sure. Again, like I said, of decks that I use quite a bit, I will buy a few of them. And if I connect to them and just keep them in case something happens. Because again, I got kids and my kids do get a hold of my cards sometimes. I mean, it happens. Like I said, I'd love to have a tarot tower, but I don't think it would last in my house very long. So unless I have a lock on that door.
Tarot tower and cats/kids is not going to be good combination.
No, I'd probably have the cat stuck in the tower while the kids like ripping it apart. So no, like even right now, I think he's eating my breakfast sandwich, the cat. So they're very mischievous.
Yeah, painting is not good with cats either. So yeah, I had to end up just closing my painting room and this room off, so the cat doesn't get in here.
Speaking of painting, I don't have it with me at the moment. It's the 8-coin tattoo tarot. It was done with spit art. I like the design of the spit art. I was wondering about your opinion on that and have you seen much of it, or would you ever consider using something like that? Or
what the hell spit art?
It's like it's like they kind of main draw it and then they'll use ink and they blow it through like a pen and then you'll kind of just brush it and it makes it look refined kind of. It's really actually nice. I don't know where the deck is off the top of my head, and I am connected to the headphones. But again, it's Dr. Mystical has it.
We got a web browser.
Has it. Yeah.
Web browser says, "Where do you want us to go? What are we looking for?"
It's the 8-coin tattoo tarot, is what it's called. I said Dr. Mystical, I believe, has it. There it is, right there, and that's done with spit art. And I just thought, at first, again, it was a little bit much for me when I started because there's so much going on the card. But now I absolutely love it. And I recommend it kind of highly to anybody who likes, detail. It kind of reminds me of it's a bit Ed Hardy-ish, the look of it. But, for hand, the hand painting and the spit art, I just think they're beautiful colors, vibrant, things like that. They're very easy to connect. Art?
I'm not understanding what part is spit.
It was just, it says it in the book that it comes with. It explains to you how she did it. But it's an old way to paint that they used to do a long time ago, apparently. Like I said, I don't know how much of it she did as spit art. But she did say how she finished it and kind of that was like the finishing to the painting. So, but all I know, it does involve somewhat blowing the ink into certain areas and then moving it the way you want it to move. And it kind of gives it that, like in her hair, if you look how the red kind of looks blended, that would be like where you would probably spit it in and blend it. So you're not actually spitting, you're just kind of using the air to get the ink there, like kind of like splashing it kind of, and then making it blend in.
I have no idea. I can think of at least 3 Photoshop brushes that could do this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can, but I just thought it was pretty cool that I think she even put in the book how long it took her to do it because she had done it by that technique. But again, at first it was just a lot, but as I learned to read a little bit more, I really, really like the detail of the cards, and it seems like most people like to look at it as well.
So is that from this Etsy dealer? Of course, it opened in a new window, so now I have to go over here. Is this the vendor?
Let me see. I believe so. Like I said, now I got mine years ago. I don't think I got it from Etsy. I think I got it from the store actually where I live, which is like a witchery store. That's where I get most of my decks, like my Lucy Cavendish stuff. If they get new stuff in. So that's actually where I got mine from. So I'm not sure where they bought it from, but they sold it to me for the price that's written on the box. So I wish I could think of where it's at the moment and I'd grab it. But I think maybe $30 tops, 35, I think. And then you said you get a nice heavy book. It's all illustrated, colored, really well explained. I want to say you even get a big layout for a spread, how to do a spread with it, a big piece of paper.
It is really pretty.
It's very nice. That's what I'm glad. At first I was going to sell it and I'm glad I never did because now I like it a lot.
That's interesting. Yeah. So why were we talking about this? I already forgot. I got it.
Sorry, I didn't throw you off. I just thought the spit art thing was really cool, and I didn't know if you had heard of the deck of her doing that. Because in the book again, she kind of explains where she learned it, the technique of it, the time frame, and how she used it.
Yeah, I think this is sort of interesting. I think handmade tarots, 90% of people would prefer that over a digital tarot. But then you look at the This Might Hurt tarot, which sold like gangbusters. And then you look at some of the other, because This Might Hurt tarot, that's vector art. I mean, so it looks vector to me. But yeah, sort of a digital thing. And then other people love the digital thing. But I think there's people enjoy more of a hand painted type thing.
I mean, I do at this point. I think when I was trying to more understand it still, and not to say like you have to be, you advance with the pictures, as you learn to read them more. It's the same thing with the Thoth. Like I wouldn't even try to read for anybody with a Thoth because that wouldn't be fair. So, because I'm not good at reading it, so, but as far as anything else, yeah, I think you just kind of have to go with what pulls to you at the time. Like I said, there's sometimes, like I said, where I like to use my golden tarot, or, I'll use the gilded tarot or something really, really advanced, or I'll just you'll use, something like the basic Rider-Waite, or use the waterfall just to have a little bit of a different kind of Rider-Waite feel to it. So it just depends really on how I feel, what questions asked, the energy of it. So I just try to do that with my decks.
Yeah, a lot of people ask that question. What deck do you reach for? So do you reach for a specific deck for a specific question?
I can have the same question by two different people and want to pull two different decks. It's the energy that is coming from them. If it feels like it's something that they genuinely are trying to fix or are being lied to, I'll pull something like the Tarot de la Nuit, because this one's going to tell me a little bit more. Or I'll pull a Barbara Moore deck right there. Steampunk or something like that, Edgar Allan Poe. Now, if it's something where, and I said, and again, I only grabbed, unfortunately, I said a Gilded Tarot this, but this would be more of like, they're not sure, but they're just curious. You know what I mean? Because this isn't really like to sway one way or the other. It's more kind of use your instinct and pick up what you see. So that's kind of how I pick mine.
I think I have niche decks. So I'm going to reach for the Bohemian Gothic if someone is being stalked or someone thinks there's a spell cast on them, because it really has that creepy look to it where people are looking over people's shoulders and it has a lot of that. So the imagery attracts me to that particular deck. So somebody had a question. Chief had a question. Tarot Oracle, when creating your cards, do you tend to see the spread with each card before you even use the decks? No, I tend to I don't know what I do. I tend to just create the card as I see it. I don't really know. Also, do you prefer your personal decks to others' decks? No, I'd rather never read with my decks. You have never seen me read with the Echoes of Nature ever.
No, I haven't. Now that I think about that, I haven't seen you use the Echoes of Nature too. Actually, no, one time I think you used it that I saw one time, but someone asked for you to use it.
Yeah, unless somebody specifically requests it, I'm never going to touch that card deck again.
But yeah, I mean, I just kind of go with my instinct, whatever that question is, and just their energy in general. Like I said, it just coming on, because like I don't know if as a reader you feel the same way. Sometimes you can tell when a question's a little bit spinned. So I'll also kind of use that too if I feel like maybe it's like not the whole truth, So I'll get a deck to try to see, make it neutral, if the best I can say.
What deck do you reach for when the querent answers their own question? Like somebody's like, I've been trying to break up with this person. They beat me on a nightly basis. I have my bags packed. Should I leave or not?
I don't even pull a deck. I just tell them yes. No, I'm just kidding. Well, yes, actually, I would say I'm getting the energy, yes, but I'm going to go ahead and pull for you. But I will use something again, like a Barbara Moore deck or anything like that, steampunk. And actually, that's another thing. Like, there's certain decks, because I do crime cases, I don't use at all for other readings. I have some like, even though this one's more of like a womanly thing, it's a little bit more dark themed. Looking at it again, the Halloween Oracle, things like that. So it's like I don't so much pull out for those decks too much, just because dark mirrors, things like that. It's more for like the crime cases that I do versus that.
So the crime cases, do you ever have like a zombie deck or anything like that you use for that?
With the crime cases, the one I like to use the most so far still is steampunk, because there's a lot of timing in those decks. If you watch it, there's a lot of planning. So if it's a situation where somebody feels something was set up or planned, the steampunk's very good. If it was where somebody is not sure of a situation or what happened, the Edgar Allan Poe has started to become a good deck to use for that. The other one is that I'm trying to think of. There's one more. It's not just the Alice in Wonderland, but there's one more that I have that I like quite a bit, but it's a bit more of a darker theme. But I use those the most for any of those type of questions, like I said. And then I'll use, if I just say use steampunk, I'll clarify it with, another deck like Edgar Allan Poe. So that way, in case, especially if I feel that it's a case that hasn't been solved or that's a little bit more darker than it should be, so I kind of use that. And that's when I'll use the other oracles to kind of go point that kind of stuff out. But again, that's only more for the crime cases I use that for. Of course, with the spirit guide readings, I do a lot of archangels, things like that.
Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on shadow working with tarot? There you go.
I think it works great. To be honest, I think shadow work is good, but I do think that sometimes if you need to take a break from it, you can, and your tarot is very good at helping you answer that. Sometimes you can actually use your tarot to ask it, what is it that you need to work on? And if you want, use the numerology to see what time frame you're looking at. You can even use it to ask your spirit guides what it is that you're not seeing that you need to see. So I think it helps a lot for shadow work.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't think a Christmas does. So if you can make a tarot, so you won the lot, or you won like a lot of money, you have money, you're just like, I wouldn't mind making a tarot deck, and I know this artist that can do it. Like, what deck would you make?
I don't know. I think I would like to do something almost similar, like Barbara Moore's, a little bit of like have a lightness, but like a darkness to each one. I really like that. I feel like it always gives you both sides to both answers. So, or at least the question, it can kind of show you how that person might feel versus the other person might feel. And then, or it can show you the duality maybe in a person. A lot of people will act some way and then maybe behave it different. And a lot of times it'll show you in those decks that duality. So I kind of like those decks. So I would probably do something like a Barbara Moore or a Tarot de la Nuit, something like that.
Cool. Chief had a question for you on the screen there.
Spiritual innocence. No, I always ask for ancestors to step in a bit if it's something. I ask for them in general just out of respect. Most of the time, especially reading for others, I'll ask for theirs if it's okay to do so. Then I'll go ahead and go on. My readings are a little bit different at first. Like I said, I kind of will connect a little bit to the person as I'm doing it. It kind of plays out in my head. So I do have to kind of pick and choose my energy. That's why I said that's kind of why sometimes I'll be careful how or which decks I use, how the question's worded, things like that, because it can be flipped the energy on you easily. So I try to be careful of that with my intuition and choosing the decks and things like that.
What do you guys think about the tarot card under the deck? You mean the bottom card? Do you feel under is a hidden message? No.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, but I don't think it completely changes the reading. I do look at it. If you're talking about the one that crowns the bottom, like when you're done shuffling out the cards, if you were to shuffle, depending on how you choose your card. Let me think, for example. Like if you mean like if I were to shuffle it like this, then be done, and then say, okay, that's the card I got. The bottom says attraction, super moon. I would take that in consideration and tell you, and then I would add the numbers up, tell you the numbers, and tell you that might be the time frame. But it's not something. This would still be your main message: purity. Attraction is just something that might be a side thing that could be distracting you or not. But again, that's just if I feel pulled to. I'm not always pulled to look at the bottom.
Yeah, talking about runes. There's an ancient Egypt, there's a runes dragons. So this is from Jessica Feinberg, who actually has a Twitch channel where she draws in watercolor on the Twitch channel. So you actually see her creating it and whatnot. But if you're doing runes and you want to mix in cards with the runes, this is a good solution. It comes with a hardbound or softbound deck. She's done like a gazillion of these Kickstarters. So incorporating runes into cards, I think this is the way to go.
You know, I think a lot of people are getting into that. I've actually, at first, I was a little bit intimidated by it, to be honest, when I first started tarot, because I had just started tarot. So I was like, wow, what's this? You know, but now that I've gotten more used to it and more used to numerology, and I think Austin is here, and I think he uses them, I want to say, at least some type of them. I'm not sure if I'm wrong. I apologize, but I just think they're really cool. So I've been noticing that a lot being used more in decks, like you were saying.
Yeah, she also, why does it open a new tab? It opens a new tab, and I'm sharing a tab. So, of course, I can't. All right. So, here's the Twitch channel if you want to actually watch her make this stuff. She answers all the questions and cool stuff, too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, she had a pretty cool playing cards. No, not playing cards. She makes literally a gazillion things.
Yeah.
I don't know how. That's a lot of work. Oh, what was the one that I really liked? It dragons and rune creatures or something like this. That's a pretty deck.
Well, it's beautiful colors. It's vibrant.
Yeah, it comes with a mat. The mat's a little
that's very nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could be able to read on that. It'd be kind of distracting.
Yeah, right. Start staring at the back too long.
Yeah, that's the problem with making a tarot mat. So look at her fairies. Look how pretty that is.
Yeah, that is. I thought about adding. That's the one thing I don't have yet. I don't think I have any fairy decks. So I was thinking about adding one because I do not have one. I think I might have an oracle fairy, but I don't have a tarot one. So I was thinking about adding that.
How does she sell 54 freaking cards and for $13? How's it? What?
I don't know.
Hey, that looks really, really good.
As I said, it has that older tradition playing card kind of theme to it. And as I said, that's why I was watching a couple shows, you know, and I take like a week off here and there, you know, just take a break. But I was watching a show and they were showing, you know, how they were, you know, in jail or places where they didn't have access to tarot, but they were using playing cards. And I was like, you know, that would be pretty cool, you know, to learn, just to go back to the basics of learn how to using playing cards, you know. I like how they incorporated it in that.
Jumpers or poppers, I use them. I figure they have something to say.
Yeah, I do. I that's pretty much kind of all. Now, if it flips around and it don't jump out, or I mean, to me, that's still a jumper or popper, even if it don't fall to the ground. But I don't pick out too many, just like to grab them, unless it's for a personal reading. But if I'm doing just like a reading, like what I would be on here, I would usually just kind of use the poppers, jumpers, and whatever will flip completely over on its own. That's the ones I kind of pay attention to the most. But I do, if I feel that one sticks out sideways or it's like calling me out, then I'll pay attention to that one.
Yeah. So wooden runes in a deck. Yeah, runes. I have not gotten into that. I need to do that. I got so many videos. I want to make a rune video. This sort of teaches that. But my next one I want to do is elemental dignities. I think that'd be kind of fun with the whole presentation style that I guess I've sort of adopted because I didn't really have anything else. So.
Oh yeah, the combo. Did you say you were printing the combo book that you had made?
I do what?
That you had made that combo, how to do combos, tarot combos.
Oh yeah. I need to add the other individual cards, meanings.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to print it. Probably be like 340 pages probably when I'm done.
Yeah, because that book went quick. That was nice.
Yeah, it's 250 of them. It sold out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have like a good way of breaking it down. I mean, I'd like to say it's that earth sign way of like bullet point in it. You know what I mean? Like get to the, you know, because like you said, I don't want to read a whole big book. So it's nice to have that kind of breaking it down, you know.
The OCD anal version, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Here's my bullet point list. That's my Virgo.
I just figured it's kind of interesting. I like breaking it down. I like the pictures in the things because the pictures sort of give you a little bit of a sort of an introduction as to where we're going, and then I want to break it down. I think the problem with most of the videos that I see, it just sort of throws 10,000 facts at you, and then they click the stop recording button. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have to watch this a few more times. I have no idea what he just said.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I do enjoy it. Of course, I've made my own, videos when I started teaching classes too, but I still watch, a lot of yours. Like I said, I'd even watched one of yours where you had used it. And I had to ask you that. You mentioned using the technique of sometimes squinting your eyes when you can't pick up what you're looking at.
Oh, that was 11 years ago I made that video.
I used it about 6 months ago, and I think that was probably pretty good advice. I never thought about squinting my eye, but it did. It totally changed. Like I said, you could see if it was happy, sad. You know what I mean? Like I said, it made it a lot easier to pick it up if that person's energy is a bit shut off or you can't pull for that day for whatever reason. That was a good technique. So I thought, kudos on that. That was a nice one.
I ripped that off from art instruction videos where you squint your eyes just to get a value, just to see the value.
Well, it works.
Right in the darks.
It works very well. That's what I said. I was like, I'd never thought of that. I was like, and then I did it, and I was like, oh wow! I was like, that works really good to squint your eyes.
That's funny. I made that 11 years ago when I was living at my house.
Yeah. You said you did take a break for a little bit.
Oh, I wouldn't play video games. Well, I wouldn't make any money. So it's like no incentive. I'm just like, okay, I made all the videos that I kind of want to make. I said what I kind of wanted to say. I'm not making anything out of this. This is a spare time thing. I'm going to go play video games for a year,
Yeah. Well, then you have other projects that come up too, so, and then you kind of add to your crafts in different areas. I know, like you said, you have like a whole bunch of elements to your show, which make it amazing. You have all this stuff going on, which makes it fun. You go in there, you're having a bad day, you can leave having a great day, so that's the great part about the show, with all the sound effects and everybody's so polite and welcoming and all that stuff. And it's fun. So.
Yeah, I think our audiences sort of bring us back. The more our audience, grows, I think you sort of get the feedback, you get the positive feedback from them, then kind of increases your mood, and then they get sort of a feedback off your mood, so their mood improves, and then the community in the chat as well. So you have a lot of people that say hi to each other and
and talk. It's always nice. Yeah, it's nice to go, okay, well, I've had a bad day, but in an hour I'll be able to talk to a few of my friends in the chat, and we'll have some laughs, and we'll listen to a couple hoorays and tarot throwdowns, and we'll have a good night.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you come home from work, you had a stressful day.
Yeah.
It's just fun just to turn on somebody that everybody in chat. It's not like television.
Right.
Now I can sort of interact with everybody because I sort of know everybody. I see them a lot, and sort of relax and watch some tarot, and most people do other things. They'll be cooking and, sort of listen and be like, oh, I didn't even think about that for the Ace of Swords or, whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's nice though. So it's been a nice, very environment, and show that you have made. So.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, I like yours as well. So.
Thank you. So.
Started collecting seashells. There you go.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of seashells. I've been collecting those. Well, I live on an island too, but I feel very pulled towards seashells, things like that. So I do a lot of that. But actually, my sons like to collect seashells a lot. So we have a bunch of those everywhere.
Yeah, the fairy deck looked awesome. Yeah, that's from Jessica Feinberg. And again, she does a Twitch channel. She actually go on Twitch. She'll get on there like once every 3 days or something, and you can ask her questions and interact with her and talk about the decks and what she does, and you can see her making the decks. So I think it's kind of a fun thing where I can see somebody making the tarot that I buy,
Yeah, there was now I did back it on Etsy. Now, supposedly they're not making it anymore, and they're sending me 2 decks in the place of it. But some of their decks, you can follow them and actually watch them make the deck. Now these 2 particular decks, I don't know what happened with them. So I'm been like since August, been like, where's my decks? You know what I mean? Because you know how that is, and you're waiting for them decks, and they keep telling you they're on their way, but they're not there. So I'm like, hopefully, I talked to him the other day. So, but theirs is like that. It's very much where you can watch them designing it, things like that. And I thought that was cool.
Is that Etsy or Kickstarter?
That was Etsy. So that's probably my mistake. Like I said, I didn't know about Kickstarter until I kind of heard you speaking about it. And then I had asked, Sunflower, what exactly it was. I had never heard of it before, to be honest.
Yeah, Kickstarter is amazing. It's, but yeah, I do have a couple of sob story decks to where they're just like, well, it was on the boat from China, but then the boat sank, and apparently it got blown up, and just like, I'm just like, how many problems can this possibly? It's been like
Yeah.
a year. Where's my deck? You know?
Yeah, and then they'll message me back and be like, "Well, thanks for messaging us. Let us know if you have any questions." I'm like, "I've asked you 5 times. Where's my deck?" Like, that's my question. I'm like, and then they'll send me a tracking number, and like you said, it goes around the same state, same country. I'm like, okay, well, I
It's
guess
like
I'll just keep my fingers crossed.
the plane that's in that's in the eternal holding pattern trying to land.
Yeah, flying to the Bermuda Triangle. That's where our decks are at.
I guess I don't know. The Oz Tarot. I'm waiting for that one, and that one has a couple of sob stories, and then there was some other one that has a couple of sob stories. But I know people have problems. That's the thing. If you go on Kickstarter, you need to really research the deck printer and everything else, and have all that lined up before you hit the go button on those things.
Yeah, and that's what was disappointing about the Etsy ones. They were very nice, actually, but they had already started some of it. One was like the Dark Coven, and one was something else, but it was very, very nice. And I was very disappointed to realize they didn't get to go ahead and finish it. Then they picked out 2 other ones. Didn't really care for them too much, but it was all right. But they were like, "Oh, we'll ship them to you," and that was like 2 months ago. So I'm like, that's why I was like, "Okay, where's my stuff?" But I don't know. Hopefully, again, it'll show up at some point. If not, I'll just have to go back to the bank next month again. Tell them it ain't here still.
Ouch. Oh,
Yeah,
2 months is a bit much.
Yeah, because it's been since August, and it was $50, and I'm like, just give me my money back or give me 2 decks. I don't care, just one or the other.
Wow.
But that happens, with that, unfortunately.
Yep. It's about that time for lunch, so I'm gonna head out there. All right. Thank you so much for being here. It was great.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for having me, and y'all have a good one. And thank y'all for having me as well. I greatly appreciate it.
Yep. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
All right. Bye-bye.